Hey everyone, I'm Mackenzie, the CEO of Ambrook, and I'm excited to give you a quick tour of our platform. So, we build financial management software for farms and ranches. That includes full sort of multidimensional accounting software, which I'll get into in a second, contextual file storage. So, all of your bills, your receipts, your checks are all searchable and associated with the right financial transaction, as well as payments. So, all of your you can do bill pay, you can do invoice management, you can use a card if you want to, and I'll walk you through each of those in turn. So first, let's get to the multidimensional aspect. Something that farms and ranches have to deal with is they oftentimes have more complex bookkeeping than the average business because they have to manage multiple P&Ls. So they not just have tax prep categories, and they have to file something like the Schedule F for a lot of commercial farms, but they also have multiple products and services. They might have different entities. They're tracking expenses and income for different sustainability programs or USDA programs. And so all of that kind of needs to be tracked, ideally in a bookkeeping system. So that is why we built Ambrook. Ambrook makes it really easy for our operations to understand what their profitability is throughout the year, and particularly their sub-profitability, as in where are they making and losing money throughout the year. So let's get into that, sort of this packaging expense. The first thing that you'll notice is that we roll up every tax category here in your chart of accounts to the right box in the Schedule F. It just makes it really easy at the end of the year to do really clean tax prep. All of your receipts and your transactions are all categorized and auditable in that way. Something that is unique to Ambrook is getting into these other dimensions. So the ability to kind of split out your transactions against different enterprises to be able to get a real-time sense of an enterprise P&L. So I'll show you how we would do this for packaging. Let's say it's for arugula, but actually let's say it's actually split across, this expense is split across your arugula, broccoli, and carrots. Being able to have like a really good way to be able to cleanly do this, and not in a spreadsheet, but actually just all associated with this, and I'll show you how the reporting comes out in a second, is something that a lot of our farms really like. You can do the same thing on the entity side. Let's say this was for the value-added producer grant. Being able to track all your receipts for that particular program in the same way that you're just doing your books is something that like you don't have to do that separately. It's all sort of taken care of for you in Ambrook. We make it really easy to download those transactions. There's a lot of different, hidden complexity here to be able to handle things like internal transfers, to be able to associate costs of production that might be moving within enterprise to enterprise, like hay to your cattle enterprises, for example. But let's actually show you sort of this idea of being able to track different transfers that might affect your balance sheet and break out things, sort of these different mortgage payments into principal and interest. So the interest is actually an expense category, but your principal is actually should be paying down sort of that part in the right piece of the balance sheet. So that is sort of a way in which you can kind of make that really clean and easy from a reporting perspective. And it does sort of get reflected in the underlying balance sheet. So you can sort of see if we go down to new farm loan, you can see all of the different transactions that are associated with that particular loan there, and you can see it's sort of all these principal payments here. So just making things really easy to go to do sort of the bookkeeping that affects your balance sheet as you go is one example. Now let's get into the payment side of things. So I mentioned that there were cards that you could have issued out of sort of what's called your Ambrook wallet. This is similar to like a Venmo or PayPal balance, but under the hood, it's like a full FDIC insured deposit account that's held with Evolve Bank and Trust, which is a software-friendly bank out of Tennessee. And you can sort of issue any number of farm cards, virtual, physical, to different team members. Folks like to use this as a way to kind of keep track of expenses across the team and also do more collaborative bookkeeping. Because every time you swipe a card, you'll get a notification in your app with a prompt to upload the receipt. And that just sort of keeps track of things really cleanly. You can sort of see everything's available across iOS and Android as well. You can take a look at sort of your wallet here too. You can deposit checks into it. You can sort of see a list of all the different team cards there. So it just makes all that really nice. Again, you can withdraw funds from this or add funds via ACH or checks, just like you would any sort of other deposit account. We also have full invoice and bill pay functionality. So being able to create and send an invoice online or download it and hand it to someone is something that makes it really easy for our firms to kind of keep track of the income side of the business. Do the same thing on the bill pay side. So let's say you get a bill in the mail, being able to sort of upload it here. It will use machine learning to parse out line items. If we can sort of reduce on data entry, you can do all your bookkeeping right in the business workflow. You can sort of have a list of your vendors, similar to how you had a list of your customers, be able to run reports on AR and AP aging, as well as pay this bill online via ACH, or you can also mail a check directly from the platform. So you don't have to go to the post office. You can sort of cut a check directly from Ambrook, and that would come out of your Ambrook wallet and just makes everything really clean and easy there. So all of this is to get us to a really clean sense of analytics and reports. So you can sort of, in your analytics page, you can sort of see your cash flow, your business over time against a budget, which is really nice for a lot of folks, but also start to get to this, what I mentioned around the enterprise P&L and sort of sub P&L there. And the final thing here is that I want to show you is just getting into sort of your normal sort of statement review, reconciliation. This is more for you can invite your accountant to the platform, no additional cost for any additional users there. So we want to make this a really collaborative sort of piece. Being able to do this for your P&L, for example, and being able to sort of see, okay, what made up these different sort of parts of the P&L, and being able to sort of do error catching as well is something that's like really nice for a lot of our customers. And then finally, being able to search for funding right from the platform, and sort of see what might make sense for your business. We sort of keep a up-to-date database on all the sort of funding, grant and loan opportunities that we find out there, just to help our producers a little bit more with that search process. So thanks so much. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk to you and learn a little bit more about your operation.